Okay, good morning, students. I have already told lot of things about the resource and development on the previous day. Today, I have to start the major problem of the development of resource. Here, you can see 4 point that depletion of the resource for satisfying the greed of the people. You are all known about the fact that the resources are very vital for the human survival and for the maintaining the quality of the life. Now we are not able to think our existence without the resource. From every part of life, for every part of life, resources are very much important for making our life easy and comfortable. Still, due to the some reason, there have a full risk for acute resource shortage in our future days. The causes are the depletion of resources for satisfying the greed of the people. From the day of industrial revolution, several capitalist class started to overutilize our resources for making profit, but they never thought the things that the resource in this world are limited. So if they over exploit the resource, there would be a shortage for the shortage of resources for the future days. That's why depletion of resource are one of the big problem that whole world are facing. Then the accumulation of resource in few hands lead to the increased financial difference. We are all known about the fact that resources are not equally distributed among the people. If it would be equally distributed, then in our world there would be no financial differences in between men. In our world, some peoples are so much wealthy that they are living the unimaginable luxurious life. On the other hand, some people had to survive for each and every piece of bread. It is because the accumulation of resource are concentrated in the selected hands. That's why the financial differences in between rich and poor are so much. Due to the indiscriminate exploitation of resources, day by day several global ecological problems started to emerge. First, global warming; second, ozone layer depletion; environmental pollution, land degradation, etc. That's why equal distribution resources are very much essential for ensuring sustainable development, for ensuring global peace. Now, through the next point, I am going to tell what is sustainable development. Sustainable development means development should carry without damaging the environment, and development in the present should not compromise with the need of future generation. I am giving one example. We are all known about the fact that day by day, due to getting important forest resources, we are taking deforestation policy for the several time. As a result, the biodiversity are getting hampered day by day, and that's why deforestation lead to the global warming, environmental damage, sudden climatic change, flood, or flood, drought, and several kind of climatic crises. That's why we had to face several kind of problem, and day by day we are exploiting the coal and iron indiscriminately, but we are not thinking that the coal and irons are limited in our world. Its formation take lot of time. That's why we have to save, we have to reserve this kind of resources for the future uses, that our future generation also can continue the circle of the development. That's why sustainable development means development should proceed but without damaging the environment, and development of the present should not compromise the interest of the future generation. This is the basic things of the sustainable development. Regarding the matter of sustainable development, the first Earth Summit, which was organized at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil on 1992, is very much important. In June 1992, more than 100 heads of different countries met in Rio de Janeiro for the first International Earth Summit. The main objective of this Earth Summit was to solve some urgent environmental problem, like to ensure environmental protection and continue socio-economic development of all countries in sustained way, that the environment cannot be damaged and the present interest cannot become the cause of the future generation depletion. In this conference, the Agenda 21, which is very much important for the development of the 21st century, emerged. So through the next point, I have to tell about the Agenda 21. Agenda 21 is the declaration signed by the world leaders in 1992 at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. It took place at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to achieve global sustainable development. In Agenda 21, there was a declaration to fight against the common problem like global warming, environmental damage, poverty, disease, etc. through global cooperation. This is the basic thing of Agenda 21. Now we have to know resource planning. Resource planning refers to the strategy for planned and judicious utilization of resources, and it is essential for the sustainable existence of all forms of life. If we are not using the resource in planned way, then it would be exploited by some wealthy personality, by some rich personality. As a result, some people would be benefited lot for overutilizing the resource. They would be able to fulfill their greeds, but on the other hand, huge number of population would be unable to get the fruits of these resources. They would be deprived of enjoying the facility of these resources. and this is the common thing in the third world country. Example, in India we can see that here some peoples are extremely rich because through their capital they able to utilize resources at extreme level. But on the other hand, some peoples who don't have the proper capital to use the resource, they are deprived to get their basic facility of life. That's why one proper resource planning for every nation are very much necessary, that equitable distribution of resource can be possible. In India, resource planning are very much important. Why? Because in India there have a lot of diversity. In India there are lot of places where huge numbers of resources are available, but proper infrastructure and financial stability or proper institution were not there. That's why in spite of having lot of raw materials, lot of resources, this kind of place are not able to develop properly. On the other hand, there had also lot of places where the proper resource is not available, but they are financially developed. They have lot of institution and technology. This kind of place can be used properly if resources are present there, but unfortunately in this place the resource is not there. Some examples I want to give here. Arunachal Pradesh, you know that this province have the capacity to use the water resources, but proper infrastructure, institution are not there. Technology are also not available at this state. That's why in spite of having potentiality, Arunachal Pradesh is not able to develop itself as a most important place of water resources. Like another thing, the cold desert of the Ladakh is renowned for its rich cultural heritage, but here no proper water resources there and other minerals are available. Rajasthan have the great potentiality to use wind power and solar power, but due to the lack of infrastructure technology, still it is not developed at expected way. So to solve this kind of problem, to solve this kind of shortage, this kind of limitation at different states of India, one proper centralized resource planning is essential. This is the importance of the resource planning in India. In this way, all the places could be used, the available resource can be used properly, and it can be distributed in equal way that every people can be facilitated. Next, process of resource planning. First, regarding the matter of resource planning, we have to identify the place where the resource is available. Then, to utilize the resource, appropriate plan structure, proper technology and institutional facility should be there. Next, this resource planning should match with the national development planning. Through these three ways, the process of proper resource planning can be made. Need of conservation of the resource. We are all known about the fact that resources are very important for the development of the human civilization. They have no alternative of it, and we are not able to reject the importance of the resource for the development of the human civilization. If we are not able to get the proper resource in our hand, we would not be able to survive in this world, because we are habituated to live with the help of the resource. But unfortunately, from the beginning of the industrial revolution, due to the greeds of some capitalist class, industrialist class, our earth and its resources has been exploited at extent way. Huge numbers of trees are cut every year. Heavy deforestation policy has been taken in India during the time of colonial period. Still, in the developed country, lot of time huge deforestation policy are taking to fulfill the needs of the people, to make the land cultivated land for the requirements of the food and another things. That's why day by day huge numbers of the animals, birds are going to be extinct. Our environment start to be hampered. Lot of problem like global warming, ozone hole depletion, and suddenly climatic change, several kind of calamities are attacking in our world. Several kind of unknown diseases are taking place in our world. If in this way we exploit the resource, then we have to face acute shortage of resource in future time. And another things, due to the over exploitation of the resource, we have to face several kind of environmental problem in next day. There was a famous dialogue of Mahatma Gandhi that there is enough for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. He always condemned the exploitative nature of modern technology. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it with the production by the masses. At the international level, the Club of Rome advocated the importance of the resource cons- conservation for the first time on 1968. In 1974, Schoonmakers, through his famous book Small is Beautiful, supported the Gandhian philosophy about the resources. Through the Brandenburg Commission report, the importance of the resource conservations are emphasized. And there was a famous book named Our Common Future, where the idea of sustainable development is greatly emphasized. That's why the conservation of the resource is very much essential thing in our days.